This stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. Today, 4 of the world's best teams are fighting for survival. You either win or you go home. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 6 of VALORANT Champions, coming at you live from the Shrine Expo Hall in Los Angeles, California. I'm Golden Boy, joined once again by some of the biggest brains in all of esports. We got Mimi. We have Sean, Mr. Garris. Sean Merriman. Whoa, that's me. Yeah, that guy was very good looking. So welcome back, everyone. It feels like it was just yesterday that we were here, because we were.
You weren't here yesterday.
I wasn't here, actually.
Me when I lie.
Me when I lie, caught in real time.
We had host Mimi.
That's right, we did have host Mimi. How was your day yesterday, Mimi?
It was great. It was a good day.
Without me here, how was your day?
Oh, it was much better.
That
and the games were really good, too, so that definitely helped.
Just already, like, just right in my face. Anyway, though, folks, I'm getting thrown out over here. I'm in my business attire, okay? I'm ready to do some business. Kind of like the way that some of our teams are here as we take a look at the bracket and what we have here, because coming up today, as I had mentioned, back-to-back elimination matches here that we are going to be witnessing to see who will move on in this competition. Will it be KRU or Giants to take on EDG? And on the other side, BLG will await the winner of NRG and Zeta, which perplexing that we're even there on Group C, Sean, but I have to say I'm not mad about it because I'm curious to see if BLG could do it again.
I know. I feel like NRG is up against the wall right now. They're going to win back-to-back matches now to get out of their group. I mean, the only normalcy so far are the teams that have advanced through, right? We kind of expected almost all of these one seeds outside of maybe DRX. I think they shocked everyone with their form.
Yeah.
But so would either KRU or Giants. The two LCQ teams that just had crazy form to go on and win their respective regions. It's also like this really cool Spanish language showdown between the Chilean fans and the Spanish fans over in Europe. They both have just, honestly, rabid fan bases. I think we've already seen some of the people out in the crowd. I think people have flown all the way from Spain just to watch this team play.
I really hope that we get to see dueling Giants and KRU chants in the crowd today, because there are a lot of really diehard fans out here. It's going to be awesome. But today we have to say goodbye, as I mentioned, to 2 teams. And, you know, that's always a bummer. But we have something that would help lighten the mood. We actually have Doug Artis and his former teammate Angel for some shenanigans.
Gentlemen, this is the most serious interview you will ever partake in. Excellent. This is a good start. The rules of this game are very simple, okay? You're each going to have the opportunity to roast the other. The catch is you cannot laugh. Anytime you laugh, you lose a point.
We're laughing already, bro. We've lost
you lose a point.
Okay.
The first one to lose 3 points loses. Via the Mars convention, I have decided that Artis will go first.
Okay.
Artis, the microphone is yours.
Okay. I want to start off easy, bro. You can't laugh already. How do you say that, bro?
We're so
okay.
No, listen, we should play it like you're laughing, you know?
Okay.
I'm not going to laugh either. I'm not going to.
Okay, you shouldn't laugh.
Wait. Bro, you can't laugh, bro.
I forgot.
Okay. Like, your Omen TPs are nice, bro. Like, you play well, bro. See, the joke there is you're not good, bro.
Yeah, first.
You can't follow up on it, man. You can't follow up on it. No, and you can't laugh. I'm going to give you one free one just because you're going to lose this game no matter what happens.
Okay, I agree.
All right. Angel.
First of all, I want to say sorry to everyone because I came not prepared.
Bro, you've got a 4 paragraphs that I can see on the phone, bro.
Artis, please, respectfully, the microphone is his right now.
Okay, Artis. Are you afraid that at some point of your life, your grandkids will come to you and ask, is the fact is your biggest achievement in your life is the fact you won Patty Parrots a few times?
Maybe. Bro, listen. Fair, I need to rebuttal. Surely I can rebuttal.
No.
You have what?
No, there's no rebuttal.
Back.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll allow it.
I farmed you.
But no, you can't answer. You can't answer.
I can answer.
No,
I will answer. I will answer. I need to answer that.
The rebuttal
This is insulting.
The rebuttal is not allowed.
Okay.
Your turn.
No, actual answer. I'm joking. No, of course not.
Bro, like.
Okay, answer.
No, Q, bro. Q. Okay. So, like, listen. I've been grinding demos super hard. Like, I've been grinding a lot of demos. Like, in NRG, we want to watch how other teams play, how to improve. And I've been watching a lot of Navi. And I've been making sure that I don't copy any of the stuff that you guys do, bro. Because you guys are woeful. Bro,
I can't give you any more free ones. I can't give you. Listen, you need to be deadpan the whole time.
Okay.
You lost the point.
Okay,
You're
okay.
one down.
Okay.
Me too, because I was. Oh, never mind.
How am I? It's my joke. How am I one down? How am
You
I
can't
one down?
laugh.
But it's my joke.
His jokes are okay. I don't know. Okay. Bro.
Bro.
Okay.
Scroll on your.
For most people, it takes like a few weeks to understand what the hell are you saying. And all of them regret having this skill after all.
Wow. This is
That's another point, bro.
What do you mean another point,
You
bro?
laugh. You laugh. That's the whole point of the game, artist.
I don't know. The
You're
point of
down
the game
to-
is you're done. You shouldn't laugh, okay? You try not to laugh, okay? That's it. That's the game.
Yeah.
Honest.
You've got to
we both can laugh. It's
Okay,
his goal
okay.
not to
Well,
laugh.
this isn't a mutiny.
Bro,
We're having a coup. We can't have a coup right now. Artist, you're up.
Okay.
You're down 2 points, by the way.
Okay. If I met you in a dark alley, I wouldn't be afraid to die. If you try and kill me, you just miss. Come on, that's good.
That's very good. That's very good.
Bro.
Bro, wait, did you finish the joke?
Yes, that's the joke.
No, I was joking. I was
That was very
laughing
good.
from you not to laugh.
Bro.
It
That was very good.
Yeah, it was
That was
actually-
very, very
I
good.
was like,
Technically, you've
a
lost
clear-
at this point, but I need you to give
It was
another.
a clear point.
That was,
Clear.
yeah.
that was like
that's
2-0
it.
for me.
Approximately.
I'm in the lead, bro.
Like, potentially.
Go
yeah.
on.
Yeah, I don't know. All the joke.
I've lost score at this point.
I think I win in 2-1. 2-0.
I know that's not the case.
What do you mean, bro? What?
Okay. Did you notice that every time you play on the stage, Riot have to put 2 admins behind the enemy just for stage not to lean?
Okay. Angel,
I'm
I'll go
opening
to-
the other folder,
yeah. The other folder's coming out now, bro.
We're at the end of time, so if you want one good one that you need to close with, whichever one somebody fed you from the
There's a
from
good
the
one.
crowd,
I
you
can't-
gotta deliver it here
Wait.
because
And
this
not
is
to
the
be
end.
banned, you know, it's like a close.
Okay, no, this is like I can't. I actually listen on stream. I cannot say. I'm sorry. This is like pushing the edge, but like.
I can't say it.
Let me
I'm
look in
gonna
the
push it,
folder.
bud.
Let me look in the folder. Let me look in the folder. Let me look. Okay.
Deadpan.
Okay. This is an easy one. This is an easy one though. This isn't that bad. This isn't that bad. So you're quite an old guy, Angel. How was Warlord 2? Because I heard you on the front line.
Bro, really?
Like, right?
You're coming with this?
No, okay. Re up. No, actually, I can't. I'm not saying this one. I'm not saying this one.
We're done.
What I was going to say, I'm not saying it. I can't say. I can't.
All I know is that Artist lost.
I
Angel
won.
You had no
won.
shot.
I agree. I agree. He won.
He won.
Yeah. Coming with these jokes, you need to have a lot of braveness in yourself. There is no jokes. I think you won. In my books, you won.
We're done. Get us
My
out of here.
coach.
This is your
You're
coach.
coming with Eric's jokes.
Eric.
Two things kind of stuck out to me there. If Artist plays today like he played that game, Energy's in trouble. That's number one. And number two, Angel is vicious, man. This guy has
He
no
didn't hold
chill.
back.
He does not hold back. Remind me, Angel, never to get you angry. All right, because that was a brutal takedown. Artist lost the game in spectacular fashion. I like how he also told me, too, before that, he was like, man, you guys are really trying to milk this thing. I still think we have plenty more content to do with
It was
the two
so
of them.
funny, the first part where he said, had to respond.
Yeah.
He's like, that's an insult. I have to respond.
Why did he have a full builder, by the way? Does he have like a script writer behind the scenes writing all his roads?
At this point, anything is possible with artists here. But of course, that leads us to today's Mastercard fan poll. Who do you think is the insult king for Valorant? Is it Angel or is it Artist? Scan the QR code and make sure you cast your vote so you can let us know as well. And while you're on there, why don't you go ahead and use those hashtags, VALORANT Champions as well as VCT, so we can go ahead and give you some love on the broadcast. But that takes us to our matchups here today. Make sure you guys are out there joining the action. That being said, opening matchup, we have KRU. We have Giants. Now, here's the thing. After 5 straight wins in the LCQ to get here, KRU tasted defeat on the main stage. And Sean, there's a lot of concern, I think, from a lot of KRU fans about whether or not this team can actually do it. Can they pull off the miracle that they did at LCQ?
I have faith still in KRU. I mean, this is their first loss they felt in a long time, though, GB, right? I mean, they went on that run for LCQ, and they looked unstoppable. But Paper Rex finally put an end to these solid fundamentals and defaults they were putting together.
But I still think we saw those solid fundamentals. I still think they were playing pretty much as well as they were at LCQ. This wasn't a KRU that was fumbling. They just played a Paper X in really strong form.
Yeah.
And if there was a team that I trusted to go down to the lower bracket and make another run, it would be KRU. Remember, they started LCQ playing 2 elimination matches in a row before they even made it to double elim. Didn't drop a match the entire way through. This is where they're comfortable.
Yeah, no, it's true. If there's one team that actually knows about pressure in these types of situations, no doubt, I should say, it is KRU. But I do know, Sean, you have a telestrator for us. What did you want to break down specifically?
Yeah, so I want to actually talk about these fundamentals that they have. So looking at their split here, you can see I'm going to go over a few rounds here, but off the bat, I want to draw attention to the chamber setup over here on the B side. That's allowing KRU to play so heavy on A. They have 4 players stacked over there. And when you have 4 players stacked there, GB, you are absolutely cooking. Watch how this plays out right here. So as Paper X come through this wall, they get completely trapped in a bait setup. They're not even aware Meltzer's in this corner. The round is over before it even starts, right?
Yeah.
So then we go into the very next like true gun round later on in the game, right? Because honestly, Paper X really controlled the economy early. Again, I'm gonna pause it right here. You can see exactly what KRU is going for on a round like this, right? They have the chamber set up over on B again with the TP. They have a chamber trip over their top male to guard the Viper Pit, and that allows them to play 3 players nested around this A site. It is a really cool thing that they're capable of doing because they're running the chamber. That allows Keznit to get this frag, get a paint shell frag, and then they regroup in that same round, push A heaven, and flank. Now, the solution to beat KRU, which PRX found later on in the game right here on round 8, is to just show them no respect and aggress into them. Make the rounds very, very chaotic. So right now you can see the grab well to prevent the rotate into heaven, the showstopper and the bladestorm coming out of heaven, and Davies is just donezo. At this point, the judge is pushing into screens. All of the frags go PRX's way. The very next round, we have another similar type beat, right? Watch something. This is honestly the play of the game in my eyes. He dashes into Mind Freak smoke, shorties Davies, kills the player backside, dashes into screens, takes out Keznit. It's just unreal. And this is what PRX did to absolutely demolish KRU's fundamentals and approach to the game. I'm not sure if Giants is going to be capable of doing that, but I was more impressed with KRU's approach than I was disappointed.
I think what's going to be so important in this matchup is adapting beyond those preset ideas that KRU has, because they're really good, like you're breaking down. But as we've already seen from Giants, their strong point is in preparation, in finding out what those default setups are and punishing them really well. So I'm looking more in this game for KRU to show us more of that adaptability that was super important in their LCQ run.
Yeah, that's actually a fantastic point, and I'm curious if that's actually going to come to fruition for Giants. But for now, though, let's actually send it over to Dryad, who's standing by with KRU's Melzer to get some thoughts from him ahead of today's match.
Melzer, quick question for you. So after the match and thinking about back to LCQ, you guys went on a flawless run. And then you and your teammates, after the match against Paper Rex, you talked about how that seemed to be adding some pressure to be just as perfect. Do you think losing that match against Paper Rex relieved that pressure of being perfect so you can now go on a run? Después de la partida, vimos que en el LCQ, después de ser perfectos, hablaban de que no querían, que tenían esa presión de ser perfectos. ¿Crees que perder en contra de PaperX ya alivia esa presión para poder tener un buen recorrido empezando ahora?
Yo creo que sí. O sea, es como un golpe de realidad la derrota contra PaperX. Creo que teníamos la vara muy arriba y queríamos hacer el mismo rank que hicimos en el LCQ. Pero también hay que pensar que estamos contra los equipos que vienen de puras victorias. Así que sí, vamos a estar mucho más tranquilos ahora. A los chicos ya los veo desde antes mucho más tranquilos. Así que sí, yo creo que sí, vamos a estar muy menos nerviosos que la vez anterior.
Yeah, he's saying it was a difficult lose against PaperX, and the main thing was leaving that LCQ run behind and being able to focus. And he feels like the team and everybody else is a lot more calm, the right mentality, and the right place for that match today. Meltzer, best of luck today.
Good to hear that they're calm, that they're focused on the task at hand, which obviously you need to be going into a matchup against a team like Giants here. But most importantly, though, when you need players to really be calm and perform in those moments, I think no other name really pops up to your head other than Keznit here, who's going to be making his return to the stage here today. And Mimi, Keznit has been great for KRU all season long, despite the fact that they had a bad, like series scoreline. They were still looking Keznit as the shining light of this team.
I thought Keznit looked, honestly, really good in this series. He's playing up against some of the best firepower in VCT, in PaperX, and I still thought he was able to find some gaps, find those opportunities he normally does to get these alt picks early in rounds when he's playing on the jet. The late round clutches were ridiculous from him as well. And his race play when they were on split, I think also looked quite comfortable. His util usage, which was such an improvement that this team found in LCQ, continued to be great. When you look at KRU, you never doubt that Keznit is going to be good. It's kind of just a matter of how good he is, how much he can propel the team forward.
Yeah, and that's where, honestly, I think he can really shine today. He went up against a buzzsaw in PaperX, right? So many duelists that are fearless. But Keznit is the type of player that has just unlimited, overflowing amounts of confidence. He will absolutely take one-on-one duels against your duelist and test their mental. Now, I don't think the PaperX mental was ever going to break in that game, but that's not to say he can't do it today against Giants. I think he is the key player to look out for.
And remember, that happened to teams that we thought would be really strong in LCQ. You take a squad like Cloud9 that was honestly supposed to win that event, and a player like Keznit managed to break them down and get an advantage for KRU that could be important versus Giants today.
Yeah, it could very well be, but let's go to the other side of the stage and take a look, man, I can't speak English. Take a look at the Giants as they come into this matchup. And you know what's really fascinating here, Sean, is that Giants, we know that this team is a very structured team. You know, there's always a joke about an EMEA one-team region, but I don't believe that because of Giants. I think Giants are a perfect example of a team that has grown, that has excelled, and they had the playbook prepped against EDG, just unfortunately they were going up against EDG.
I mean, look at this trap play right here. This is the most insane trap play. So off of the cam, the breach fault line comes in, the showstopper. Yeah, it's so crazy watching this team play. I was so impressed with Giants throughout this series, and I think they just kind of ran out of steam. In particular, I think Vitinho was the best player in this server, which is wild considering what we saw nobody do. Vitinho had 4 more frags in this series, 72 frags in a series. I mean, that's unreal performance out of your star duelist.
And the specific prep against EDG, in particular on the split map we were just watching, was so good. They had a great understanding of where EDG was setting up on the defense. I remember like a round where they're crouch walking through heaven so they can't be spotted from sight to be able to pop through. This team is really good at finding those ideas and implementing ideas from other teams. I mean, they've stolen half of Fnatic's playbook, it would seem, and their players are in a form as well that it is paying off. Giants, I think, similar to KRU, honestly, despite the loss, I feel kept the strong form that they showed in LCQ.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think really both teams are coming into this matchup, I think, in a really good form, and this is going to be a banger matchup. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But for now, though, let's actually send it back over to Dryad, who got some quick words with Vitinho earlier on. Dryad, what you got?
All right, I have a quick question for Vitinho. Vitinho, after your match against EDG, a lot of people were talking about you, about your duelist role, about how great it looked, how explosive the whole match was. Do you think the match against KRU today is going to be as explosive?
I mean, yes, we are going to play our playstyle. I will focus on myself with my utility in my teammates. So, yeah.
Best of luck.
And it's always good to see when, you know, he's saying, I'm just going to play my style. If there's one person you want to play their game, it is Vitinho's that man on the screen right there. But, you know, that takes us over, though, to, you know, the game the Giants had against EDG. We covered it a little bit just a second ago. But, Mimi, it was a difficult matchup for them because, to Sean's point, they did kind of just run out of steam at certain points. And I'm just wondering whether or not that could happen to them again here against KRU.
It's possible. EDG really grinded them down, I think, with some insane clutches. You are mentioning nobody. Something like, I think, 8 4Ks were won by just EDG across the course of this series. It was a game that was, for EDG, defined by these really chaotic late-round moments that they were just barely pulling off. I think by every measure, Giants should have won that series.
I mean, look at that play right there. Man literally turns around and just like 180s him inside of the Viper pit. Like,
it's just wild. It's wild the rounds that EDG pulled out to win this series. In particular, Bind. I mean, I feel like by the time Ascent rolled around, it was over.
That has to be demoralizing.
Yeah,
right?
because how do I win that 1-on-4 from Showers with Orbital Strike? That, I can't even believe they bounced back from that. And then there was like 8 more multi-frags that went against them too.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 things you can take away from that series. Either, oh no, we choked that, we let this slip away, we lost so many clutches, or, hey, we just pushed EDG, one of the teams that was favorited to be a top 4 squad at Champions, to the limit here. We didn't have a huge amount of expectations going in, and I think how they translate that loss into their mentality today will be really important.
Yeah.
I was listening to the post-game press conference actually after that loss because I was curious to see their mental, and they were actually very resilient and very strong. And they asked Rhyme what his thoughts were on EDG because he said they were overrated coming into the series. And he said, I still believe it.
Ooh.
I know, he's ready for the rematch, and that was before EDG lost to Paper X. So I am very, very optimistic right now on Giants, which kind of sucks because I'm a huge Croupium believer after watching that LCQ run.
Well, funny enough, you mentioned Rhyme, and you know the thing about him is that actually in that series he had a pretty solid matchup, right? He did what he needed to do. He, you know, contributed to the team effectively, Mimi, and I think like for Rhyme, you know, to still feel like that, I think actually is a good thing. It just means that their heads are in the right place. They still believe that they can do this.
Sean, me and you were talking after the game, and we were both like, oh, Rhyme was so good that series, and then you pulled up VLR, and his stats were just not very good whatsoever. But that's the thing. I think the value this guy has as a support player is just so easy to see when you watch the games. He sets his teammates, particularly Vitinho, up so well with fault lines on the split map. We constantly saw him in a position to provide perfect support utility and also winning late round clutches like this. Beyond that too, Rhyme is the IGL of this team, and he's a guy who for most of his career people have really doubted his ability as an IGL to lead a team internationally, to make it to that next step. And I think he's really proving people wrong with what he's done on this Giants roster.
He's really made the world tour, right? He came over to NA, played on Gen G for, I believe, a year or 2, and then he ended up going
a year,
back.
they just they barely didn't make it into the main event. But you can see he still puts a lot of pressure on himself. He's criticizing his own performance on the last few maps, which I do think is fair, but you really have to value what this guy brings to the team.
Yeah, I think Giants is stacked with skill. I think someone like Cloud, we didn't mention his name a lot in the prior series. He was kind of quiet, even though he's in the middle of the scoreboard. He is the superstar of this team in my eyes. I believe Cloud to be one of the best players in the world in his role, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting him to have a pop-off day.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think that every single player, as you had mentioned, Sean, in this team, is a weapon. It's something that this team could take advantage of. But let's not forget, on the opposite side there, you also got KRU. They have players that are coming alive, and they hit their stride at the perfect time. But is it going to be enough? And folks, we're going to take a quick break. And coming back, though, we're going to play, we're going to actually read the VC tea leaves.
That's terrible.
God.
And play What Are the Chances? Don't go anywhere.
I don't want to play any games.
No.
Welcome back for the results of our Mastercard fan poll, because we know that's what you guys wanted to see. It's, of course, who was the insult king? Let's find out. Was it Angel? Was it Artist? The results are in, so let's just jump right into that one. And Artist,
He didn't even understand the game. There's no way.
And my man lost the game before he even started. So people weren't paying attention, maybe.
No.
They weren't. What
He
a
was
shame.
just like Artist. He was funny, but he's only funny because he's laughing at himself.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Is comedy great when you're laughing at yourself?
We would never laugh at
I would
ourselves.
never
We
laugh
don't
at
do that.
myself.
That's a low bar of comedy.
Honestly, I would never even do anything funny. Speaking of, every day is hot in downtown LA, but what's the forecast inside of the arena? Let's play What Are the Chances? Everyone's favorite game that no one knows about. And that is an accurate depiction of how the globe looks right now. Fun fact. In any case, though,
So how about that weather?
it ain't good. Everyone on the desk has a prediction about what's going to happen today. So, Sean, start us off.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous here, GB, because my prediction here, I have the 90% chance here that FNS is going to call a masterclass today. I think he's due. I think based on what I saw in the first series, he's kind of off, in my opinion. Didn't call a great series. And usually when I see that and Energy underperforms, they bounce back because this man creates the GOAT game plan. I'm expecting nothing short of just perfection out of Energy today.
I feel like this is already violating the Ball TW rule of every matchup has at least a 70-30% chance of. So I don't know if I can fully get on board for a 90% chance, but I would say it's likely.
So you hate Americas?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
And also an extension, you hate freedom.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I like not being free. That's not true. I've dug myself into a hole. Let's move on. What's your take?
All right.
50% chance.
I'll go next. Here's mine. Mine is that this matchup will be 50% decided on raise maps. So decided is the key word here, because I think that it's going to be 2-0 and it's going to be raise maps that decide it all. It's going to be 2-0 in one direction or the other. I don't know which direction.
50% of the map pool is raise maps.
Huh.
Exactly.
It's just like,
This is
just a
cold. This
fact.
is an ice cold take, Mimi. What do you?
Me and my opinion is simply a fact, so you cannot argue with me.
You can't argue with me. I am a genius. I have created an unarguable point.
Look at that pick they did of you.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's actually from my trip at Cabo.
To Cabo, of course you go to Cabo, wearing your suit and your chain. This bougie guy.
We all can't
It's
be
crazy.
just 90 sitcom extras, Mimi, okay? How about that?
Okay. Mine is not a 90% chance. It's
Look at that. That was terrible, but we'll go with it.
It's terrible. There's a 10% chance, and this one is simple. I think there's a 10% chance that Energy didn't have a slow start, and they just suck.
No.
But
You
only
hate
a 10%
Americans.
chance. Only a 10% chance.
Wow.
I don't hate Americans.
I don't know. Crowd, do you agree with Mimi on this one? No.
10%. You can't give them 10%.
10% chance?
Guys, they went out at Copenhagen 2-0.
We're getting just blatant. Hey guys, can you just boo this woman, please?
Guys, I love NRG.
They placed top
I'm the
4.
biggest Finesse fan.
I don't know.
I love Finesse.
Seem like a
I love
hater.
Som. W streamer guys, right? You guys like that?
You don't even know who Keith is.
I do know who Keith. Keith's a very close friend of mine.
All right, let's go ahead and bring up our takes here for posterity and see what we have. So 10% chance that Energy did not have a slow start. They're just bad. My unarguable 50% take on KRU and Giants will be decided by raise maps. And then the 90% finesse IGL's a masterclass
Wait,
versus
you guys
Zeta.
realize that Sean's take is just the same of mine, but framed a different way. It's the same thing. He's also saying there's a 10% chance they're just bad today.
Oh my goodness gracious. It's going to be a great one. Real quick though, before we throw, who do you think's going to win this game?
Honestly, my heart says the KRU chain will continue on, but I feel like Giants has to be favored. They just looked so good in their opener.
KRU?
I'm going KRU.
Going KRU.
Yes.
Going Giants. Wow,
guess.
we're split up, folks, but today it's put up or shut up. Elimination matches across the board. Day 6 of VALORANT Champions is going to start right now.
hurts a lot more to lose in front of this crowd than others. You just kind of have to separate that after a loss. You still have a whole tournament to go. You have so few chances to try to prove yourself, so when you don't take full advantage or don't play to your expectations after like months of practice, that'll definitely sting.
負けてしまったんですけど、自分たちの強みを生かした戦い方とかで、ラウンドをきれいに取ることができたりとか、そういうのは、自信につながりました。もうここからは本当に負けられない戦いなので。
Last time we played was Iceland, and we were able to win that game, but it wasn't convincing.
アイスランド苦い思いしてるのでリベンジしたいです。
We're not the underdogs, they are. We have that confidence going for us.
自分たちの戦い方ができれば十分にチャンスがあるチームだと思ってるので。
Everyone is underestimating our team, so I just want to prove my level and that's it. Like my real level.
They are putting the squeeze away. That is ridiculous.
I think I'm proving it.
Ya pasé por un tercer lugar, otra fase de grupo que perdimos. Y ahora creo que siento que el equipo está más preparado que nunca y tengo mucha confianza. Yo creo que debe ser un agrado enfrentarme contra Fitiño.
I think it's gonna be one of the best matches, Spanish and Latin fight. Let's see who wins.
All right, let's go. Giants, you are higher seed, Team A or Team B?
Team B.
Team B, so crew, you will be Team A. We'll start with your first band.
Fracture.
Fracture, your band?
Ascent.
Ascent. Map number 1 from crew.
Lotus.
Lotus, side on Lotus.
What do you want?
Давай.
Pick Pearl.
A side on Lotus.
Defense, yeah.
Defense, and then Pearl?
Yes.
Okay, and then side on Pearl.
Attack.
Attack. Next set of bands, starting with crew, you have Haven, Bind, and Split.
We ban Haven.
Split third map.
So you want to ban Bind?
Yes.
Okay. So map number 3 will be Split. Crew, side on Split.
Attack.
Attack. Okay, gonna run through this. First set of bands, we have Crew with Fracture, Giants with Ascent. Map number 1 is Lotus with Giants on Defense. Map number 2 is Pearl with Crew on Attack. Next set of bands are Haven and Bind. Map number 3 is Split with Crew on Attack. All right, good luck to you both.
Yeah, thank you.
Giants.
Crew want to prove that this Cinderella run that they went on was no fluke, but the Giants want to show the world that they are the real deal and not to be trifled with. As we get ready for this matchup, Crew versus Giants, Mimi, I'm expecting a fantastic match from both of these teams.
Two teams that found their form just at the right time.
Yeah.
Does your boss think that? I don't know if he's going to believe you now. You better not be a Valorant fan.
Honestly, cameraman did him real dirty.
Yeah, don't show that guy.
Hey, man, if it's PTO, it's all good. Who cares?
Oh, good. Yeah.
Oh, man, but in any case, though, the fans are lined up, getting ready. They're excited for this one. Giants, Crew, pressure is on here, Mimi. Both of these teams, as I'd mentioned before, they can make these deep runs happen, but the fact that they're squaring off against each other right here is almost criminal because both of these teams, man, have so much to give in this tournament.
It is, but it's a hard group. Really paralleled storylines. Both these teams had an opportunity to beat either PaperX or EDG, two of the favorites in this tournament to go deep. They both made it close, but neither of them took the win. And now it's elimination for one of these two LCQ teams that have already went on a run, have already hit the form they needed. It's kind of a question of who can continue that run.
And the best part about this matchup right now is the map pool we get, right? Starting off here on Lotus, we've seen KRU do some insane things on this map. I know Giants is a formidable opponent on this map as well. And then going into right after that, I'm sorry, what was the map?
Pearl.
Pearl right after that. So that we get the Jet map immediately following that, and then we close it out on Split, which we broke down two clips on Split already for both of these teams. This is just such a good series. And I honestly don't know who's going to end up taking it.
Yeah, I just really want Split because I think that final map is going to be so even. But I think KRU is going to be the favorite here on Lotus. They looked really good on this. Throughout their LCQ run, they changed up their composition going into that LCQ, playing the Fnatic comp but with the Sky instead of the Fade. And I thought they were really good at it. On the other side, Giants have really struggled to find their form on this map. Most recently playing like a double duelist chamber comp that I thought was really cap. So I am glad that they're not going back to it. They're going to a pretty normal meta comp. It's mirrors on both sides.
Mirror comp across the board, which I actually quite like here. I think both of these teams, this gives us an opportunity here to see who has the better ideas, who can go toe-to-toe a little bit better with this mirror composition.
Yeah, and something that I'm going to point out KRU does really, really well on attack side is they take full map control and they react to the other team perfectly, right? They'll fight for mound control over at C. They'll get that orb. They'll break Killjoy util with Keznit's satchels. They'll open the door, meet up with the player front B, break the Killjoy utility B, and then do an A-long execute later on in the round. They go everywhere and push you back into basically defender's spawn.
They're really good at mid-rounding, and Giants has shown that as well on other maps. We haven't seen it yet on Lotus, in my opinion, from them. We'll have to see if they can find their form here. But the biggest takeaway for me from that Prime Gaming agent select is this Raze head-to-head Keznit versus Vitinho. They were both on fire in their opening matchups, and I hope that continues here.
I did say it was a 50% chance of happening. In any case, so guys, we're ready to go, and I want to hear the Shrine make some noise as we get into our first map of the day. Give it up for Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, GB, and our analyst desk. This is a hype matchup. Two Giants, KRU in their own sense, and Giants by name, looking to establish themselves here in the international scene. You know, they've had some pretty good times in the past, but this is a big game for them. Elimination, the pressure might just get to them.
Yeah, I feel like we've had both sides when it comes to KRU. We got to cast them the first champions where they went on the crazy run. We got to cast them get eliminated by FBX last year. Now we get to see what KRU we've got on the table, and for Giants, well, it's new turf. Like, maybe some of the players have been around the international scene before, but even the likes of Nuke hasn't made it to a champions before, and I'm telling you now, he don't want to go home this fast.
Well, consistency is the name of the game when it comes to Vitinho. Sometimes he has those lights-out games,
recently
and then the lights are out
more
afterwards. Well, let's see if the consistency can hold through and true. As we move on into Lotus, and it's Giants on their defensive side, getting a bit of aggression out early. The B side under threat. We've got Paranoia Hell to flash out a Cloud. Which one's going to be the point of contact? Flash up for, and it's got Melser to turn. They picked up the opening kill, and they'll fall back. Look at this C side as well. Defended by both the Killjoy of Nukia and the Viper of Hoodie, and that utility is keeping them back.
Already, after the failed initial battle, you got a couple of sheriffs in hand trying to just rotate back around. Try and find something, and they have found a relatively open A site. If they were to go pushing into that direction, it seems like the defense is almost open to playing the retake. Of course, Keznit has somewhat given up the game by taking the orb, but probably won't have the realization that there's currently nobody here. Just slowly clearing out, actually on his own. The rest of the team are just waiting for those rotations. I think they've made that realization now that they are a little bit further away, unfortunately. For Nagzit, that is not the timing he was looking for.
No, low HP on Cloud and Rhyme, but the man advantage most certainly locked down for Giants. They'll look to retake together. That's great point of contact. Keznit hears the Tiger on its way, fires the nade through, disrupts them a little. Davies going to try to take advantage of any gaps in this retake, but there were none. They've grouped up, they're pushing it together. Ryan was a little ahead of the pack on that, but he's found the kill for his trouble. That is as clean of a start as you could hope for the side of Giants.
A really good start to this game, and I do think that there is a decent amount of potential of this game coming down to the finer margins. So having solid pistol strats, getting off to a good start in these sort of rounds with more explosive plays, and well, the fact that they managed to remove one of the controllers straight off the bat is a huge start for Giants. I think in this series as well, the map pool does have a decent crossover, but Giants are going to be very happy with the fact that their permaban of Fracture was actually taken out by their opponents. So they got to remove one of their other slightly weaker maps, and I think they're going to be thanking KRU for that one later.
Yeah, definitely. KRU obviously just worried about there being an ace up the sleeve. There's been a lot of time to prepare. Maybe Giants would pull it out in an elimination match. They weren't willing to run that risk. For the side of Giants, with that pistol under their belt, they've decided to invest very heavily. I mean, they've got rifles on 4 players. It's just Nukia that's coming in with a Spectre. The side of KRU should find it hard to really force any favorable fights throughout this round. They're taking it slow and steady, poking and prodding at this defense on A, figuring out exactly how they like to defend it. What utility is where, what reactions come into play. When you open that door, is it going to burn up snake bites, for example?
The thing is, Hoodie's going to be someone that's really irritating to remove from this spot. We see this from quite a lot of Vipers just playing around this A site. Nagza is actually just burning out his utility while the rest of the team look to try and fake back in towards that B site. That's where Nukia currently resides, but he also has a teammate in the form of Cloud, who could potentially pop a flash through this one. It seems like, again, though, they're just going to be holding on for the retake. So KRU getting into an afterplant already. Let's see how much damage they can do.
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. They've burned up a lot of utility. They put them into a post plant now, and look. Oh, okay, the opening was found. Nothing else afterwards. Oh, my. And that'll be just the Spectre lost. I imagine someone's going to bring Nukia that weapon.
They got a bit unlucky there, because as you said, they burnt up a lot of utility. The one player that still had a full belt was Rhyme. 3 players pushed towards him, and he hits them all with the paranoia and then just swings onto the angle. It was about as cursed as it can get for KRU in the early rounds, but with only a single kill found in 2, this is where you kind of hope now that they step up. But you look at the fact, Keznit, 0 kills, 2 deaths, but he does have his ult online. They've been farming. They've been going around the map and picking up those ultimate orbs to make sure that he has his showstopper online. So a huge early ult for the side of KRU and a chance for them to get back onto the board.
Well, bringing a little bit of home to the international stage. You see Lembo there on our screens, the leader of pretty much all of Giants' chants throughout the regular season in EMEA. Good to see him waving that flag once more. And with pride as they're 2-0 up the 3rd round, the real test for the side of Giants. They're coming in with the pistol on Cloud, but as we said, they had bought so many rifles. It's not just the rifles on the side of KRU, though. It's that big old rocket launcher looking for a victim and finding nothing. They've lost a player, Klaus, in the meantime. That nade, though, it's going to force him out. Hoodie has to fight, and he'll lose his life.
I think hearing him push forward, it made it all too easy for Keznit. A 3-man flank, though. Davies might not be expecting this. Hit by the paranoia, but still managing to just sit up close and not cleared properly. Still just surviving at the back. And with Cloud already low on HP, this is an easy cleanup for Davies, leaving just Nuke standing. Bit of a shaky first fight for Melza, not going to be able to close this one out. And in the end, Keznit is there alongside him. KRU onto the board with minimal losses and a good break back.
Very clean return from the side of KRU, yeah, it has to be said. And I mean, you got Davies hitting shots like that already. 3 players. You know, you said the last guy was low HP, and you were right, but he still went for the headshot. Didn't give a damn about the health in play. And that's a promising beginning to this attack side. You know, you lose the pistol, you lose the follow-up. You can put that to the back of your mind. This was normally you wouldn't celebrate the 3rd round so aggressively, but like we said, Giants had a lot to bring to the table there. There was a showstopper burned up, but not for too much reward. Here's the rifle round again, though. Giants now with 5 weapons in hand.
Yeah, this is where things should get a little bit tougher. Don't have the showstopper to immediately clear out the site. This is where you're going to spot that Hoodie has gone back to his classic position around the door. Early aggression as well from Rhyme, just taking some space over on C. It definitely gives them that little bit of early information and already trying to put a little bit of damage with the spams. Not quite the Odin, so it's not going to be taking him out. Vitinho holding on for contact, and well, maybe Keznit has taken a little bit more damage. Getting all the way down. That's the heal completely expended.
Same thing here with the door going up. 54 on the clock. Spike towards B. They're just burning the utility, getting those snake bites out of play. And trying to control exactly what Giants are going to have to work with later on in this game. Later on in the round, you can see the B play is definitely the target. Crew have already shown their preference, even in the pistol. Move towards this kind of area, and they'll break their way through. Actually fighting in towards the spawn. There were two waiting here, but they have just dished them up.
Yeah, that was a trap play from Giants. They played a couple of players further back just to try and catch them off guard, and it has failed miserably. The entry power of this Crew squad just unmatched, and even though the paranoia didn't hit, it seemed like they were scared to take those fights. Vitinho looking for a way back in, looking to try and find an entry frag, and Klaus has given him nothing. All too easy, and for the remaining two, it almost seems like a necessity to try and save, but they're chasing, running it all the way down, trying to find Rhyme on the other side of things. He will survive that little bit longer, but Keznit is still pushing, still here. Might not even be expected, but Rhyme is diligent in his checks.
Could be just worth it, though, if they can manage to drop one of those weapons, but now with two players down, no idea where Hoodie is. The round might conclude without further engagement, but hold on, just around the corner was Nagzit. And he will be dropped. Another kill for the side of Giants. They've made it costly, if nothing else, from a position that didn't look too great. But that's scary now. We're seeing Keznit really heated up. Aggressive push into the spawn. And, well, he has the backup of Klaus as well. It's a scary duo for the entry.
Well, 2-2. Keznit and Klaus doing a fantastic job in these last couple of rounds, and some quieter starts. Like, the fact is they've been able to rotate back into that B site quite comfortably over a couple of rounds. I wonder if Giants are going to have to make some sort of adaptation. Now you have to bear in mind they do only have those couple of rifles that were saved through. The rest is in the form of SMGs and a lockdown on either side. And with the early aggression, I think being spotted by that attacking side, they have opted to fall all the way out. Tiger not really going to spot anybody close, so I don't expect the paranoia to be used just yet. And when it comes down to some of these more awkward fights in towards the spawn, I don't think it's worth Giants pushing that far forward.
Now they've made that call as well, just leaving the one man posted to hold that C re-aggression if it does come through. One-way smoke as well coming in. The same thing with the door, man. They are just burning the util, making it costly.
Nax's job is literally just spam the door, he snake bites, you spam the door again in a few seconds to make him use the other one.
Just keep spinning it around. Well, Hoodie's been wise with his second snake bites, holding those for late round. 45 on the clock. Here's the fight. Nagzit lurking up, but Hoodie was watching it. The headshot traded, but it's Nagzit with the better weapon for that range. Vandal headshot, easy kill, and the A site under threat. Ryan's gone for the TP, but he's canceled it. And it's going to be a long rotation back.
Yeah, for the rest of the team, it really does look somewhat hopeless. Ryan can gamble this rifle if he so decides, because they will have an investment into the next round anyway. It's more so how much do they believe they can get back into this one. Lockdown, I would be surprised to see it used just because there's a counter on the other side, but almost definitely be used immediately. Davies, well, probably doesn't know how many players are currently on the other side of that smoke. For Keznit, it's looking like a bit more of a shooting range, a cleanup, a few players dropping on the other side, but realistically, the time already being bought. And just a chance for Rhyme, Vitinho to try and do some damage, but they are not missing a beat on the Crew side. Davies with another double, and Crew now take themselves the lead.
Well handled. I like the control that they're taking, but realistically, that just comes down to the second that Hoodie falls, this round was in the gutter. Giants so far away, having stacked up towards the C side, and oh, what? What a reaction to that. He gets buffed up into the air with his aim, and he's right back to the head. You can see they're happy about that one. We're going to get a round 6 timeout to start it. Giants want to take a moment and get back on the right game plan. This is a round they're coming into with that lockdown still in their back pocket, but they're investing all of their economy. We might see that op for Fatinho. He's bought it right now. We don't know if he'll keep it. But the key thing is they're putting it all on the line. KRU could be about to run away with this game, at least with this half, if they take this round. And you've got a showstopper and a lockdown online. KRU winning the ult economy coming into a crucial round.
That's the thing. I feel like they have just been investing a lot into Keznit getting that ult again and again. Because in their post plants, they've looked very good. It's just having that ability to take the site almost for free and Giants being forced back off that angle. Words being said early on by Pipson, of course, someone who we know has regimented this team, created a huge amount of strategical depth. The expectations on him here are trying to fix things early, because we already know that on the attack side, both teams probably going to be able to put up a decent amount of rounds, but it's grinding out those defensive scenarios for Giants. So using one of their pauses early enough so they can try and fix some of the issues they've had.
It's a good call. I can't believe we saw in the crowd a two-sided sign. One for Giants, one for KRU. Who would do that, Tom?
Didn't you do that with BCJ and Enzo?
Never.
I'm
There's
pretty
no
sure
proof.
There's actually a lot of proof. There's a worrying amount of proof. Like, it's almost like you wanted to get caught.
It was in 4K, quite literally. Well, round 6 kicking off. Giants' pause has subsided. And it looks like, again, KRU are going to show that preference towards the B site. Keznit, rocket launcher in his back pocket, and it's going to be fired out into the hole. Let's see if there's anyone waiting there. He's blocked out right now. Timmy delaying him a little bit. Every little helps, and well, that's a little bit of damage done. Keznit, unfortunately, dealing it to himself. He's going to be healed back up, but again, hoodie to full, losing the Battle of the Vipers to the A site, and some pressure now applied. This lockdown as well, quite passive.
Yeah, both sides have used their lockdown, and unfortunately for Giants, the attack one is going to be the one that burns out later, so they just have to sit back and wait. Melsa is going to sit back in this corner, managing to dodge that lockdown, and Brian trying to find a get back in. He's basically just stuck on the button at this stage with his opponent waiting on the other side. Melsa wins that fight as well. In fact, they're winning the majority. Only Fatinho left, a 1 versus 4 with an operator. I don't think it's going to be happening. And well, that's his first kill, Mitch. It's not been a bright start.
Oh, they know he isn't off. They want to take him down. So close. Fatinho needs to survive, and he'll get the shot off in time. Just about carrying this operator through for Giants. That might be the one light at the end of the tunnel for this squad, because they don't have a whole lot else to work with.
That's the thing. He has been someone in their previous series and throughout EMEA who I think has hit the level we wanted to see from him. Like, I think we knew coming into this roster, there were high expectations of Nuke, Cloud, Hoodie. Like, we knew what we were getting, whereas Fatinho was that sort of, that's the risk in my eyes at least. In their previous matchup, he was incredible. One of the reasons that series was so close. Thus far, wow, he's had 2 exit frags. That's all we've seen from him. But this time, a little bit more aggressive, looking to take the round into his own hands, with the rest of the team actually buying up around this, Mitch. This isn't them taking an eco off the back.
Moving in. They've been stalled by a nano. Rhyme able to pick up 1 as they're disrupted on their way into the site. That door didn't do too much for him in the previous round, but this time there's a reward aplenty. The squad seems to be set on the B site. It's a bit of damage on the way through. Nukia drop gives them a plan for sure.
Well, this is the one time where that damage is actually going to be felt, because Klaus was the first to fall. So no heals available to bring Keznit back up. But these afterplants from KRU have been nigh on unstoppable. Been very happy to get aggressive, and this time Rhyme is ready for it. He got killed in the last round trying to walk through a smoke, so this time, okay, I'm gonna spam the smoke.
It's taken Hoodie so long to rotate, just ever vigilant for Nagsit's lurk. Last Pack's trying to put them off the rain, but every shot is hitting. The side of Giants flood back into B, claiming it with relative ease. That's a 3rd round on the board, and a much needed win for the side of Giants. KRU could have been about to hit their stride, and even if that op isn't saved over, you might not have seen that level of investment here from Giants. They might have been much more neutered coming into this round.
Yeah, I think this might be something that was mentioned in the pause as well, is that Crew have been very, very proactive in their post plants. They've been, even though the B site is one where normally you kind of struggle to hold on, because if you sit passive and spam, a lot of the time it's a tight choke that you can clear. Not this time. They've been very aggressive and pushing at least one of those extremities. And because of that, this time you see it. Ryan's just spamming the smoke. He's expecting somebody to be there. So if that's one of the things that Giants have changed, it might become a little bit more difficult now for Crew to make those same sort of plays. The problem, though, wow, one side of the map has nobody on it. And that's the exact side of the map that Crew are pushing.
They're even paranoying in the tree. They're like, where's the snake bite, guys? I opened the door. It's just not here. Davies got caught, but he's able to see again. Unfortunately, there's players all around him. No way out. Even still,
they must
though,
be baffed. Like they've cleared the spawn and all of A and just gone, okay,
corner.
there's literally nobody for miles around.
Did he get timing? Like, where is this guy? But yeah, he's not here. And I guess the idea they killed Hoodie might give it away. Two players coming up, and they've lined up for Klaus. One bullet each. And one return. Fatinho, good for that. Keznit looking the other way, and he's caught off guard. This has started to fall apart for Crew. A promising round, and now it's left to Melzer and Nagzit to close it out. One away from a Viper's Pit. It won't be used here. Melzer got the first. Nice snake bite. Great support from Nagzit from far back, and that'll lock in a round for Crew.
Yeah, I think ultimately a round that they should have had in the bag a little bit cleaner. But the fact is, I think that Giants were much more expecting them to play a slow game. Like, this is one of the first rounds we've seen them just directly walk towards that A site. And with not seeing any challenge in towards the door, they knew that there was a gap there. The gamble from Giants is they'd have a little bit more time to sort of clear out those lurkers, get in on that flank. And instead, they gave up so much map control that once they lost their spawn, I think we kind of knew the round should have been going the way of Crew.
Okay, let's see how this one kicks off. It is that Viper's Pit earned up, previously used on the C side. Alarm bot inside of it as well, so plenty of control for this squad. They don't need to be worried, and Hoodie can avoid being baited into using his snake bites early for once. He'll just fire it off in the back of the alarm bot and probably get a kill. Wisely, Crew have decided to avoid this area, at least for the most part. Davies lurking in case he can maybe pick up one. That was a little dangerous. Klaus got tagged, but the aim went off afterwards. The side of Crew, again, focused on this B site, but more of a defense here than ever from the side of Giants.
Yeah, with the Viper's Pit being able to lock down one side and an aggressive position from Fatinho on the other. It's allowed them to play with the gaps a little bit. Now, dodging this Tiger might be a little bit easier said than done. Never mind. Showstopper just going all the way in. Fatinho having to shoot it off after being blinded, but he has claimed that space. And this is the thing. I think Crew were very set on defaulting back in this direction. He may not have got a kill, but he's bought an awful lot of time. 30 seconds left on the clock as Crew now start moving back in this direction. Support from Rhyme as well, ready.
They know what they're looking at here, though. Melzer's got the ult to TP into A. Rhyme's gone down, and now they might not look to the A side anymore. B instead looking a lot more favorable for this squad. Snakebite in and bounced around someone's head, but that one back. Melzer's going to have to plant in an off spot. Trades on the way through. Good for the side of Crew. They've delayed. They've got the plant down. The man advantage doubled up on the side of Giants. Need to make a decision here and now with a Spectre in the hands of Hoodie. How likely do they feel that this retake is going to go their way? The economy not looking great either in a save. I don't know that it will even help that much. Maybe if Hoodie can pick up something from his fallen comrades.
Toxins going up.
Well, that also depends on whether or not they're going to be able to hold on to the guns they've got. Nagzet starting to hunt a little bit. As you mentioned, Hoodie going for that gun. He's spammed all the way down. I don't know if he's getting out of here. Keznit does not want to allow him to hold on to this weaponry, and in fact, he's got a teammate watching.
It's always
they are
Nagzit.
aware of everything. And this is the thing that I've really enjoyed so far is there have definitely been moments in these rounds where I've gone, okay, this is now an opportunity for Giants to win the round. I think one of the main points in this was where Rhyme was. And then instantly, from the back of B, a Paranoia goes all the way through just to clear things out. I think that was Melzer's supportive utility. The same in the last round where he had that snake bite just to give him extra support that came out from Nagzet. These guys have had these little pieces of utility that have made a massive difference in the round. Now, 6-3 up, winning 6 of the last 7 rounds as well. Bear in mind, this was a pistol and second round conversion from Giants. They have got a miss so far.
Yeah, Klaus's utility as well last round. The Seeker identifying where Rhyme was for that paranoia to go through his flash, saving them from a showstopper that would have been devastating. Speaking of, oh, never mind! Okay. Shot out of the sky, and he's going back for more. Nuki is playing a dangerous game. He's decided to concede the site, fall back. And of course, because they've got this lockdown to work with, they're not too worried about losing the C-side itself.
It's whether they want to commit it, and they do. Yep. they only have sheriffs on everybody else other than UK. And you know what? I respect it from Crew. They've just gone, you know what? You have denied us the C-site, but we have the weaponry, we have the advantage in this round, let's fall off.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Giants are expecting Crew to really fall off, go towards the other side of the map, hit A. Instead, they have sat outside C. The timing could have been key, but the Tigers spotted them. So now on the side of Giants, they again know that this is where the contact's likely to come in. What was that? Hoodie's just picked up Klaus for free. That flash now gone, no paranoia. It was already burned up, and a wallbang shot that puts Nags it down to 9 HP. That's after he's used his Viper's Pit. He's got to hide for the rest of the round, and hell, so do the rest of his teammates. The wallbangs coming through are scarily close. Davies has an angle. Maybe an opportunity to pick up Nuki on the cross, drop that rifle. He'll certainly get Hoodie. One more on his way. But Davies doesn't want to be greedy. He knows his teammates inside the pit are the ones that matter. He needs to hold that back angle so they can keep front facing.
Oh.
2 more opponents, one on its way, and he'll miss the first. No ace this time, but no round for the side of Giants. Surely this clock too far gone. Surely! But Nuki's got him through the pit! I thought he could hide, play the time, run around. But a blind shot, thanks to him being 9 HP, finds its mark.
Yeah, no, this is something we see so often from the likes of Nuke. A round that looks done, it looks over. They came into this one with one man having a rifle and the rest all having pistols, and sometimes that man with a rifle is enough. Managing to just pull off impossible things like a ridiculous final shot to close, and well, the rounds that Giants have pulled off have definitely not necessarily been ones you expect them to repeat, but they'll take a round like that all day long.
A blind shot as well. The first kill that came through on the side of Melzer was onto the guy that was low HP, couldn't correct on time. That's such a devastating way to lose it. A lifeline for the side of Giants on the back of a big round from Nuki. They only had pistols. Now Nuki is the one to fall first, and Hoodie not too far behind him. This is what I was scared of just a few rounds ago. Keznit's just sheer entry potential. Great paranoia. It's caught them both, and the reward is there. He might be blinded up, but he's got teammates to cover. And Crew are dominating in round 11.
Oh! That's humiliation. Well, we've had conversations about shooting bodies and tactical crouches after the round. He did it while he was still alive, bounced on his head and finished him off. It's ridiculous stuff from Keznit, styling on his opponents, and wow, it's back to the B side. They've been doing this round after round after round, be it based on rotations, be it based on late flanks. This time it was a direct take in towards that site, and they have been unstoppable. They're being able to find those opening kills. Another round found for Giants just moments ago, and an instant response again for Crew.
Already, Rhyme has burned up his paranoia. They are getting aggressive on A, taking a lot of control on the defensive side. That's why you see Crew so quick to react on the C site. They want to try and force out this control, grab their orb.
It's an interesting piece of utility to use so early on when you've been in a retake so many times. Right. Like that's why I feel like you can do similar things with a flash and a nade, or even just the nade in the early round. But
oh, this could be dangerous.
Maybe this time it'll pay off. I don't know if they're going to go this way now.
Yeah, they know it's a judge as well. They've got utility to clear. Use that paranoia, Melzer. I don't know. He can still see you when he's up close. That's the real danger. But oh, now he's forced out by the util. They heard the teleport. They might be worried about him still being close. But now that that position's given up, he's going to find it a little more difficult to find value with this weapon.
Yeah, similarly to Vitinho in a couple of rounds ago, he bought time. But Crew have not felt any level of discomfort of executing late into these rounds. He is going to be able to hold on in towards Tree. The flash somewhat failing over the top, and he's just going to try and hide within this smoke, but the lockdown is going to make things that little bit more awkward. I can tell you for free, He's not going to play any part in this round because the lockdown is just a ruse. Guess where they're going? You'll never guess it. It's that B site again.
Look at him running in this time, though. Keznit meets his maker. Nuke doesn't last too much longer after, and that plan seems to be coming through. Blastback's denied it! Just about get back on time. Another Blastback, and they've won the round! The clock, the ultimate enemy of KRU, as Giants come through with 5 at the last second.
I'm gobsmacked. He might not have had the best game when it comes to fragging, but that's truly ridiculous.
Oh man, the fact he gets out there, they try to deny him. You see Davies jumping up to take the kill. What a devastating loss. And a few of those rounds that went Giants' way have been just heartbreaking for the side of KRU. This could have been a much more dominant game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this could have been a lot more dominant for KRU. And while a man who had a fantastic first half, we're going to be hearing from Keznit.
Yo creo que el error fue que nosotros salimos a jugar demasiado respetuosos, por así decirlo, y nosotros sabíamos que ellos jugaban así, solamente para adelante y nada. Yo creo que fue más un error de nosotros, porque nosotros estábamos preparados para eso, pero aún así no surgió ese momento nuestro de salir a buscarlo nosotros, en vez de que ellos no nos pasen por encima. Yo creo que comunicándoselo a mi equipo es lo que estoy practicando, comunicándole a mi equipo que tengo un poco de ansiedad, voy a hablar un poco más y voy a enfocarme en hacer las cosas bien, pero creo que lo más natural es que se te vayan saliendo ese tipo de ansiedad durante la ronda, que es lo que me pasa a mí.
A 1v2, a winnable one. Not able to land the shots on the first blade, not online, but that op's gonna connect.
One more.
He's got one blade and Keznit with the shot!
Creo que lo que más se me nota es los conceptos que he agarrado por estos 3 años. Y nada, yo creo que de pegue también, de mira, he mejorado mucho. Siento que estoy en mi mejor momento individual. Y nada, eso, repetir de nuevo que estoy preparado para todos los que vengan. Y nada, yo estoy confiante en el equipo y en mí.
Well, Tom, I have to say, 5 rounds on the board for Giants, considering the pistol round, the follow-up, and the last 2 that we saw them win. You know, the 3v2, low HP on Cloud, retaking through a Viper's pit.
And that was around when they had
ace.
pistols as well, yeah.
And then they start with pistols, and then that final round, Vitinho, 4 kills on the board, but 1 round, 1 with blast packs.
I might be from EMEA, but they are lucky to have 5 rounds.
Absolutely.
But that's the thing, 5 rounds on defense, that's not bad. They'll take it. They now get to go on to the attack, and well, KRU looking like they're playing this one like an attack. The thing is, though, their opponents are waiting for this. They've set a trap, expecting this aggressive pistol, already trading very effectively. A few spams through the walls, waiting for anybody to cross back over. Nagsit's not going to be able to connect the shots, and now, well, the pressure onto Davies. He's had a great first half. This is a lot to ask, though. Yeah, about the result I expected.
Cloud had the heal as well. What a good teammate. So that damage done to Hoodie earlier on is completely ignored. Found Nagsit, hit him with the snake bite to hopefully spam him on the way out, but he'll escape. Oh, okay, nice shot. Vitinho down low, but again, look who's got the heal. Everybody's right back up to a healthy fighting state. And that is why I'm saying Cloud's a good teammate. Not everyone will do that. Certainly not the skies in my ranked. But here's the reward. Oh, even the paranoia just to swing in and decimate Keznit. Nagsit's the only man standing, and he has a full team of attackers to take on. Just about 40 damage done so far. He's certainly adding to that statistic, but it's not enough. Giants with 2 out of 2 pistols so far.
Yeah, they've needed them, and it's safe to say. It's funny as well, because normally the critique we have of this roster is that Rhyme's normally not able to put up the same level of numbers as the rest of the team, but he's actually been having a pretty decent game on an individual level. It is Vitinho. He's gone quiet after some big series so far, big series to even get them here in LCQ. we're waiting to see that beast truly arise, but I guess being now on that attack side, he's going to be much more of a pivotal focus.
Well, that's it. This is where we should see him entering in, taking that space, and well, very much doing what Keznit was doing in that first half. As we said, we've seen it before where Vitinho hits his stride and then falls off a little in following games. This season had been a little less of that story, but you step on the international stage, elimination game, that's where the cracks start to show. Nuki spotted a push, a couple of players seen. He's not afraid to take a little pixel angle, spray him down with the Bulldog. They've given it up. And for the side of KRU, I don't think there's a right decision here, really. All they can do is try to maybe grab some orbs. Not easy on this map whatsoever. The A side, pretty much the only place you can do it. And then hope to find some damage as the attackers flood into a site. Oh, they're deciding still whether Keznit's going to fall back on A, but looks like they'll stick close. Seems to be the right call. Giants drifting to the right side.
It's like, what can you really do with a classic? It's just find a trap play, and for them, this at least allows a slightly faster rotation, trying to use their own utility against them. The thing is, Melsa's going to be left on very low HP, but somehow that's actually worked out. I guess they didn't expect somebody to just sit within the Viper wall.
30 seconds left.
So getting 2 kills from round when you had nothing, now it actually gives a very small chance for Nexus to do something as well. He's in the right place. There's only 20 seconds left. Now, they could get a tiny bit panicky, but they should be watching for anybody to come out on the cross, and there you go. Hoodie will execute one, and Timmy the Turret almost manages to finish off the other. We're level once again as Giants have converted that second round once more. This is where things got a little bit tougher for them last time out.
Well, that's it, yeah. You can just about see it on your screens there. Round 3, and things took a significant turn into KRU's favor. The second those rifles came out, this is where Giants need to hold strong. Vitinho is going to be coming in with a sheriff in hand. The rest of the squad rocking the rifles, and I think that's a decision on his part. He hasn't been feeling it so far, and we'll see as things progress if he starts to heat back up.
That is the good thing with Giants, is they do have an awful lot of win factors. UK has a good game. Cloud as well. For now, though, Orb collected over on that attack side. They are starting to aggress. Maybe again just setting up a bit of a trap. But you can see that it is watched for in a sense. UK is just waiting on that lurk. Contact of the turret as well. It would be a huge risk if they were just playing for the orb. I think it's more likely that they're just hoping to try and hold on to some map control and have that easy rotation back as well. Keznit can definitely cause them issues here. In fact, Cloud, he was still in the Tiger. He may have been blind, but he's been headshotted while using his utility. I don't know if there was slight miscommunication or he just had mass amounts of faith in his teammates.
Either way, it was misplaced. Hoodie low HP, even lower now. It's being tagged up incredibly low. Can't afford to play through that utility. His teammates fragmented, but Vitinho chooses his moment to strike. Stepping up when it matters the most. 3 kills for this man. 1 away from doubling up. His performance in that first half left us wanting more. And now the opportunity, but they're so low. 45 and 47. Mauser can win this with just a few well-placed shots. He's vulnerable on the way through, and it's Vitinho to find it. 4 kills now, pushing him up to 8 on this map. Not just for his kills, but rounds for Giants. They've taken the lead back.
Yeah, what a time for him to come alive. We said it when it came to this attack. This is where he could be the tip of the spear, but a site with 3 players residing within it and him finding all 3 kills, 2 within a matter of seconds. His individual game dragging Giants into the lead, and you've still got that showstopper available for Keznit, but other than that, not much in this round at all.
The best part about it is there were 9 players in that round who had rifles, and he was the one that didn't. And he comes through with that round. Well, if there was anything to light a fire under him, get him back into the game, I think that was it. We may just have witnessed the activation of Vitinho, the deactivation of Hoodie. Good shot for Mauser. In a round like this, that is such a valuable kill to find. This squad now with a man advantage, with weaponry heavily disadvantaged.
It's annoying as well.
Rocket launcher. Good showstopper.
It's annoying heading in towards the A site when you don't have your Viper wall as well. Like it leaves a lot of very open angles. well, a trade of tigers. Both players not really getting a mass amount of information, but it will be the moment where Giants decide to switch things up. Now, bear in mind that Naxa actually has a fair amount of utility to play with. You normally buy it up in these sort of rounds just in case you're able to use it. He's going to be sat with the Sheriff. He needs that first shot, but now he can delay. Stopping them in their tracks once again. 40 seconds now. It might not look like a low number on the clock, but bear in mind, they have taken no ground. The majority of players still back towards the spawn. Giants, this is getting scary. So much so that they're now going to use the Seekers, but the door, well, it's helping out a little bit.
Slowed them down, not quite enough though. Mauser not able to hit the shot again on the way around. The Marshal falling to the floor. Sheriff's all that's left. Bar again, that showstopper, and here it comes. Keznit, it's picked out of the sky.
Twice.
Great shot from Nukia, and he doubles up. Crew left with no chance. Just Davies on a Sheriff, 1v3, time ticking away. And they'll see if he can find some exits, perhaps.
So this is a fun thing. We always talk about, when we think of keybinds, we think of Lothar. And I think maybe Nuki actually has a keybind in this one. It's when his opponent activates a showstopper, he activates aimbot. Because it's just twice now that Keznit has put that into the site, and he's just popped his head the second he's attempted to use it. Absolute filth. And well, now Davies, they're just going to go down to the spike. Nothing really, well, or the nano, no. It'll be the spike to take him out in the end. Giants now starting to claim control of this game. A couple of rounds to the good. Crew even going to take themselves a pause, give Atom a chance to try and talk things through with the team. Because as said, in that first half, they looked pretty good. Like I would say they were the better team by quite a margin. It was explosive individual plays that won Giants the rounds, but now they've had that kickstart with another huge individual play from Vitidio. We are sat here with them 2 in the lead on the favored side of the map, and Crew needing to find something now.
It's probably the most Giants game I've ever seen, actually. Just even looking at their EMEA run. This is really them hitting their stride of how they like to win. 9 rounds on the board. I can think of maybe 4 I'd give to them justifiably. They won both pistols, so that gives them a lead. But there's been some, frankly, BS rounds along the way. And now they hit their stride, start to play clean Valorant on that attack side. It's a big challenge for Crew. And you can see commands being rattled off on both sides.
Well, this is the thing. Like, when you accrue and you call a tactical pause,
look how angry Pipson looks.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you call a tactical pause, you're giving Pipson the full minute to just talk. Like there's not. I don't even think he breathes. I think he's found a way to just hold his breath so that he can talk for the full minute without stopping, and the team listens, takes it in, and it normally comes out with a good side for Giants. So you've given that over on the other side. It might have even just been a moment, though, for Crew to just almost steady that ship a little bit, as this game is very much still within competition.
You can do a side-by-side with Buster Rhymes and see who's hitting the fastest rhythm. And
who's got the quickest flow.
Yeah, Pipson might give him a run for his money. Oh, that nade's perfect. Great damage done onto Rhyme. He's lit down to 76 up close. Mauser good for the first, but traded out afterwards, and Giants coming ahead in this skirmish. Nukia thought he could sneak his way behind Davies, but not today, and that's numbers equalized. Maybe overheating on the flank. With damage done to Klaus, at least he can't heal that back up. They could heal Rhyme as well, but they're not worried about just a couple points of health. Instead, they want to speed it up, get towards the site. Oh, the teleport through. Rhyme trying to take space. He's found the first on Davies and low HP to finish Klaus off. It seems too easy. Viper's Pit online. Do they give Naxit the respect? Yes, they do.
Not a bad idea. Rhyme already low. It does give him some extra time, though, while they're waiting.
Spike planted.
He's trying to sneak his way around the edge of the pit, hope that somebody gives him an angle, and there's a chance that Rhyme, just on the edge of this, just going to start clearing out the angles, maybe try and bait them in with a spike tap, and he's looking for something, and well, he's found it. Unfortunately, it comes in the form of Rhyme. Again, another big round for him, stepping up individually, currently 15 and 11, as said. It's not normally where you find the IGL on the board, but a round that a bit of a gamble. Again, Crew basically tried to just fight them in the early stages very aggressively in towards that A-site rubble, and well, maybe some frustration starting to kick in as this is their map choice. Pile up next. I wouldn't say it's a landslide in the favor of Giants, but definitely a map that they feel comfortable on. And with what is currently on the board in terms of weaponry, ultimates, doesn't really sit in Crew's favor.
No, certainly not. It's not going to boost up that buy all too much, but you got to give Crew some respect when they're on these rifles as well, though, or these weapons, pardon me. Only the one rifle. The Sheriffs can be extremely dangerous in their hands, especially when they've got the numbers, and that's what they're aiming for. Playing retake on A, giving up the space. As Mauser shrouded his steps on the way out of sight. He'll now be able to march back in with the full force of Crew at his back. The wind in his sails. The utility leading the charge. They found Cloud, but at what cost? He's still running around.
Oh, they're actually going to use the lockdown here. Really are just showing that respect over to Crew. Making sure that they can burn a lot of time off the clock. Nobody can really opt to challenge this. Maybe a little bit of an overcommittal, if anything. It doesn't seem like there's much that they'll be able to do in this round, but I think for Giants, it's just about making sure that there's no shenanigans here or a complete off angle for Rhyme, not expected whatsoever. And he's even going to close things out with a little bit more onto Keznit. 2 rounds away now for Giants from taking this first map. The attack side has been nothing like the first. Squeaky clean with 6 rounds in a row. Lembo's having a great time. And well, for Crew, it's a second timeout in the space of a couple of rounds. They are almost just trying to stem the bleeding at this point.
Yeah, this timeout, it's got to be frustrating because, again, looking back at how things have gone for them so far, I can't even fault them. Even, again, going back to that 3 versus 2, Viper's pit up, plant down, time relatively good. And Davies right about to grab an ace. And it's 1 missed kill. That player then has the opportunity, it was Nukia, to run back into the round, clean out the Viper's pit, take down the Viper with a 1-shot spam through the smoke. No iota of where he was, just whether it's luck, whether it's skill, whatever you want to call it, it's put rounds on the board for their opponents, and I can't fault them.
I've seen him do it 40 times. It's not. It's definitely not luck. It's something. I don't know what it is, but
a Nukia factor.
Yeah, he's done it for multiple years now. I definitely can't call it luck anymore. He's even got his own sign in the crowd, and I don't blame him. No, we love Nukia in this house. But here we go.
Play. Good question.
Oh, you know,
be a while.
Hey, well, Sem might need some players.
11-7, 4-round lead for the side of Giants, standing tall on map number 1. Pearl up next, and remember, that is their pick. Crew on home turf right now, and they're being challenged. We'll see what Giants' answer to this timeout is. They've got a showstopper, but other than that, Crew leaning with a favor. Seekers and Lockdown to work with late on into the round. And no op for either side.
I wonder if this is just going to be a contact play off the showstopper. They're all building up outside. Paranoia straight through.
Not even.
No, Fatinho's not even going to use it. Taking a lot of damage. Timmy doing his best to chip away at some of these players. Cloud already just looking to try and deny any of this deep control and potential for some spam. The nade is perfectly placed as well. Maybe they will have hoped to use that showstopper after this one, because now it's going to be a scramble to try and reclaim the spike. In fact, no opportunity for it. And now is when the showstopper goes through. I don't know how that didn't do more damage, but nonetheless, it's left all onto Hoodie. He's trapped, somewhat screwed at the back of this site, and no matter how much damage he does, he's not surviving this one.
Beautiful response from the side of Crew. Every step of the way, the Seekers going out, find out exactly where Fatinho is. They send in the stuns. They start trying to force him out of the corner, and he can't move at that point. He's stuck. The reason he pops his showstopper, and I like the fact they didn't do it at the start. I think expecting Crew to play super passive once they saw contact, expecting a showstopper. So they get the space for free, and he wanted it here to take down the lockdown, to grab space. Got surprised by a quick swing out of Klaus, and just couldn't react on time. You saw him even fire it into the wall beside him instead of actually getting that distance down towards Klaus. Unreal stuff for the side of Crew. Coming out of that pause, that couldn't have went any better.
Viper's pit. Don't know what the contact was, but whatever it is, Magzet has got this perfect. All orbs being collected. It's for the Seekers once again on Cloud. Hopefully the closest of any ult by quite a margin. And again, they're expecting some level of aggression. Now, there has been a push-up from Melzer, but this has been a regular occurrence, mostly just for information. He normally falls back quite quickly once that's been garnered, although With the flashes being traded or being tapped, I wonder if there's going to be some support sent over for Klaus in a moment, because right now he's alone.
Yeah, so this was definitely a panic play from Nagzit because they ended up having Davies out of rotation for ages, trying to put down his turret. The start of the round, they didn't plan to do that. Probably would have went for the alarm bot, but at least they would have had that utility there from start. It's delayed them, but that timing wasn't taken advantage of, and now Giants look to burst out on A. There's players waiting, a showstopper online to catch his hoodie. They still have Mauser up close, ready to fire off, but Giants are leaving.
Look at where Rhyme is. He TP'd all the way into the back, just almost trying to make some sort of TikTok plays on his own. He's going to get caught. Didn't expect Klaus to be so close. And now with seconds left on the clock, they have to go running. Look at where the spike is. It has to be a full sprint. Even then,
left.
I don't know if they're going to have enough time, especially with this retake already being attempted. It has to be an instant plan. He's got it if nobody manages to deny. Just about with 0.4 on the clock, they get the plan, and that might be enough. Somehow it's come down to just Melzer left alone, and Vitinho will put him in the grave. This was a scramble from Giants, but somehow it's worked for them.
Unbelievable. Just a fraction of a second, even allowing them to get that plan down, and that's why
They were gonna go
are
A.
rushing in. They're blitzing it back into the site. And they're fragmented, of course, because they're attempting to interrupt the plan to win the round, guaranteed. Just lay down your life for it.
Corner. It's not even towards the
That's
spawn.
ridiculous.
That's such a confident play, but I believe he was actually trying to open the door to get the rotation of his teammates into the A site.
Yeah.
He dies, and they go, I guess we go B.
Quickly, quickly.
0.4. That's what it was on the clock.
That's ridiculous. 0.4 of a second. They knew their rotation timings then.
Imagine if he bumped the wall or something.
If he went for a plan slightly more shallow, I think there was even going to be a nano there for him. Like, incredible. And they would have seen him from the elbow. Nagzit's under pressure. They'll make it around because he's got cover. Keznit came in to save the day. Now they'll retake that control quickly. Goes the boom bot. It spotted them close. Judge trying to close the distance, catch any stragglers on the way through, or anybody re-peeking this area. And he's caught one of each. Well handled for Nagzit, and KRU stay alive. 3 more needed to push us up to an overtime.
Yeah, he's been causing a nuisance over the last couple of rounds. He might not be up there in terms of the fragging department, but we've seen that throughout the game, be it him catching off rotations or even just staying alive a little bit longer than he should have done. The last couple of rounds, it's been one of the major issues. Again, though, the back and forth isn't going to be enough. We've seen no streak of rounds from KRU throughout this second half. And they need to win themselves 3 in a row, and with Giants breaking back every single time, this is a problem again. That paranoia through Vitinho has found the gap within the corner, but it is checked for. They are clearing that angle this time. Cloud, though, has done well surviving. He's blind and still spraying away, but it's Keznit to massacre them on the entrance to A. Finally, KRU managed 2 in a row.
Kind of unreal if you look at that. Mauser was a player who had a judge, and he was up on top of Rubble. He might have even got a kill if the nade hadn't been so on point from Keznit just moments ago, but that spray, what a recovery on an otherwise lost round. If Keznit goes down in any of those fights, his teammates have to trade, and it comes down to the wire. Somewhere the Giants have been surviving again and again. But a lifeline for KRU, 2 more. And they've got an overtime on their map pick. Maybe the wind in their sails, marching in there. Giants want to avoid that and call the timeout.
Cloud isn't talking. Prime isn't talking. Nuke isn't talking. Tino isn't talking.
Who do you think is saying words right now?
Where's the coaches? Where's the coaches? I imagine they're getting a bit of an earful, but that's the thing. I like the change of pace for KRU.
Your crew is upside down. Oh no. Oh, and Pipson isn't
He's
talking.
done. He's finished now.
He's already rattled off
for the
30
first
seconds
50 seconds. He was talking, and then now Rhyme gets a chance to take in everything. But yeah, it's a good opportunity for Giants. They need just 1 round of the last 2. KRU starting to come back again. It's been similar halves of feeling dominant on that attacking side, and a few rounds ground out by the opposing team. A lockdown available for Nuke as well to potentially take some space into the site, because over the last few rounds, that's been the problem. And once they get into the after plants, it's been pretty decent, but it's either come down to the wire or denied completely.
Malzer up on top of Rubble.
Kez is on the other side this time, right?
They've still got that wall down. Your B site. It might be needed. Giants firing off their lockdown. Certainly telling their opponents they want to take this to B. And they certainly do. Straight in towards this site is Vitinho. He's been tagged up and space taken for sure. Can he hold on to it though? There's players coming up behind him and he's not ready, but he still makes it around the corner in time. The flash from Klaus. Okay, sure, he's gone down, but the teammates flooding the site caused some problems for Crew. Nukia's double leaves it on Klaus to try and claim space, and he gets nothing but a bullet to the head. Malzer, the last man standing, began this round on Rubble. And it's crumbled for Crew ever since. Can he find 4 kills? A defuse, so it's time limited. And buy time for Crew to push this to overtime. Their map pick. It's not been going well, and it'll end in the same fashion. Nukia's triple for 13-10. Giants have stolen Crew's map pick and set up for a 2-0 if they can claim Pearl.
Yeah, no, a stellar attack side coming out from them, being able to basically work off of that clock and going for that rotation. Either way, though, there's still another map to go at least. And we're going to be heading ourselves off to a break before coming back with the desk.
When you play an actual ranked game, it's 50 minutes, but how much are you actually shooting? With AimLabs, you can compete in over 1,000 tasks that will prepare you for any scenario in any game. For the new ranked season, you play, you get points, you can compare yourself to your friends. With AimLabs' new one-to-one Valorant maps, you get instant feedback on how to get better crosshair placement, better peak efficiency. You can also instantly modify existing tasks with Discovery. Get started today by downloading AimLabs for free and join millions of other satisfied players.
Bringing in a new roommate to save money, is that the plan?
Well, we gotta find some way to save, so say hi to Glenn. They're for work. Treat yourself. That's my uncle.
Yeah, I think I have a much better plan. We switched to my plan from Verizon for just $25 per line.
And that price is guaranteed for 3 years.
All on the network we can count on.
It's a good plan.
It is a good plan. Glenn, looks like we're not gonna be needing you, so I'll see you at work.
Oh, later, Glenn.
Save big with My Plan, starting at just $25 when you bring your own phones. Guaranteed for 3 years. It's your Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.